Success and the power of silence. Have you ever wondered why success sometimes chooses silence? Why isn't it always associated with recognition or applause? We often think that when we achieve success, we need to announce it to the world. But in reality, success is a quiet, subtle journey that requires space to grow. Success loves silence, not because it is secretive or hidden, but because it needs time and space to develop. Imagine success as a seed. When a seed is planted in the soil, it doesn't need anyone's attention, nor does it require recognition from others. It simply needs good soil, the right amount of light, and time to sprout and grow. Similarly, success doesn't come instantly. It's not something you can see right away. It needs time to grow slowly, with patience and perseverance. Yet, today's world, many people feel the need to announce their plans. We share ideas, projects, or goals with others, not only for help, but sometimes to gain approval. We want others to see what we're doing and hope they will support or even acknowledge our efforts. But do we really need recognition from others? To progress, the answer is no. True success comes from within, from the efforts that no one sees. A successful person doesn't need to announce what they're doing. They just need to work with unwavering belief in themselves. The greatest achievements don't require fanfare and truly don't need praise. You can start a project, work every day, without anyone noticing. And then one day, when you look back, you'll realize you've achieved what many only dream of. You might think, if I don't share, I'll lose motivation. But in reality, motivation comes from the small steps you take each day, from your unwavering belief and perseverance through challenges. The things you do in silence will bear fruit, but they don't need immediate acknowledgement. What matters is that you're on the right track, and you only need to trust the process. So, how do you maintain silence on your journey? It's a lesson in patience. Keep working every day, even if no one sees it. Don't rush for recognition. Remind yourself that what you do is not to please others, but to develop yourself. You only need to do what you're meant to do, and the results will naturally emerge at the right time. Success is a process, not a destination. Let success grow in silence, and one day it will be revealed. But for now, take your time, work steadily, and patiently. When you look back, you'll realize that silence is essential for building a solid foundation for lasting success. The contrast between sharing and action. We've all heard the saying, actions speak louder than words, and this is even more true when it comes to sharing plans or ideas. Have you ever found yourself sharing too much about what you want to do, only to receive doubt or criticism from others? And have you ever realized that doing this might make you feel like you've progressed more than you actually have, while you've yet to take real steps toward your goal? Sharing too much about your plans can actually drain the energy needed to execute them. When you tell others about your plans, you might receive compliments or encouragement, but once you've shared, you might feel like you've already done part of the work. This feeling of having accomplished something can cause you to lose the motivation to continue pursuing your goals. Think about this. Every time you share a plan with someone, a part of you has already received some form of recognition, even if it's just a simple compliment. And in that moment, you might feel like you've taken an important step, even though you haven't done anything yet. This is the trap. Many people fall into illusionary progress without real action. Sharing too early can make you lose motivation and create the illusion that you've achieved something when you actually haven't. We often crave recognition and want to share everything with the world in order to feel validated. But in reality, these shared moments can pull you further away from your goal. The more you share, the more you can be distracted by others' opinions and advice. This can make you lose confidence and, at times, reduce your determination. And here's another issue. People who share too much about their plans are often easily influenced by doubt and criticism. Once you've announced your plans to others, you'll inevitably receive feedback from many different directions. And among those responses, the doubt and criticism can easily weaken your resolve. Instead of continuing to take action and sticking to your goals, you might start to waver, second-guess your decisions, and sometimes give up. So, is there a way to navigate this contrast between sharing and doing? The answer is simple: work in silence. Take the time to plan and take action. Before sharing anything with others, working in silence not only helps you focus, but also preserves your energy and motivation to achieve real results. Remember, success isn't something you talk about. It's the result of quiet, consistent action. You don't need immediate recognition, but eventually, your results will prove your worth. The power of keeping your plans private. Have you ever found yourself coming up with a great idea or big plan and feeling the urge to share it immediately with others? Have you ever shared your plans, hoping for praise, encouragement, and the feeling that you've made significant progress? But then, after sharing, you feel like everything becomes less exciting, and sometimes, even the enthusiasm you had at the beginning fades away. In reality, keeping your plans private helps protect your initial vision, safeguarding the creativity and passion you've put into it. When you share too early, you not only expose yourself to doubt, but you also risk facing criticism or skepticism from people who don't fully understand your goals. Those words, whether unintentional or intentional, can make you doubt yourself, dampen your motivation, and sometimes even make you reconsider the path you're on. We can see this in many people, from creators to entrepreneurs, and even those pursuing personal passions. When they haven't yet taken action, they are more likely to be discouraged by others' doubts. If you don't protect your plans, you'll easily let them be influenced by external factors that have nothing to do with your original goal. So, when should you share your plans? The key is to share only when you've made tangible progress, when the results are strong enough to prove the efforts you've put in. This doesn't mean you have to wait too long, but you'll feel more confident sharing your plans once you've made some solid progress that can demonstrate what you're doing. At that point, people will see not just your words, but your results. Protecting your plans is like protecting seeds. A seed can't grow if you expose it to the light too early. It needs time to sprout, grow, and develop in protection without interference. Similarly, your plans need space to grow, undisturbed by doubts or criticism. When the seed is strong enough, it will rise on its own, and only then will you proudly share the results with everyone. Remember, actions speak louder than words. What you do, the steps you take in silence, will prove everything. You don't need to prove yourself from the start, just hold firm to your belief in your plan, protect it in silence, and let it grow naturally. The power of surprise and real results. You've probably heard the saying, silence is golden. But sometimes, in life and work, silence is the key to success, especially when it comes to taking action and achieving real results. There's a truth that many overlook. Working in silence and revealing your results only after they're done will leave a stronger impression than sharing every step of your plan. Think about something simple. When you see someone share their plans, what they intend to do, but you never see any actual results, how do you feel? Isn't there a sense of disappointment, almost like you stop believing in their words? This feeling is all too familiar. Words without action, no matter how enticing, are just empty promises. Now, imagine someone who, instead of talking too much, quietly works, and once the results are clear, they share them with the world. No need for many words, just the outcome. And how do you feel then? Real results, announced after a period of silence, always make a stronger impact. People are not only amazed by the change, but they also admire the person's perseverance and ability to focus on the task. Action speaks louder than words. No one wants to hear empty talk. They just want to see results. Action doesn't just show capability. It showcases inner strength, patience, and determination. Every quiet step you take is a way to prove yourself, not through words, but through tangible outcomes. Let me tell you about two people. The first is someone who always shares their plans. Every time they have a new idea, they talk about the steps they're going to take. And then, day after day, they still only talk, without achieving anything substantial. Eventually, others stop listening, and even the person themselves loses motivation to keep going. The second person, on the other hand, doesn't talk much about what they're going to do. They just do it, work quietly, focusing on the task. And then, when the results are undeniable, they share their achievements with everyone. No explanation needed, just results. And those results speak louder than any words. So why is surprise so important? Because it not only makes you stand out, but also earns people's respect for your commitment and perseverance. Surprise is also a way to show that words aren't as important as real action. When you stay silent and focus on doing the work, people will be amazed at what you've accomplished. Real results will prove what you've done. Don't share too much before you succeed. Just focus on action. And when you